King Charles is being asked to do something that goes against every principle the monarchy stands for: get involved in politics, and not just any politics, American politics, Donald Trump politics. The UK government is under intense pressure to cancel Charles's planned state visit to the White House in April 2026. Opposition parties are demanding it. Activist groups are organising protests. Even some within Charles's own government are quietly suggesting the trip should be postponed or scrapped entirely. The arguments against the visit are compelling. Trump is deeply divisive, his policies contradict British values on climate change and human rights, and the optics of the British king bowing and scraping to stroke Trump's ego are humiliating for a nation that once ruled half the world. But the arguments for the visit are equally strong. The UK desperately needs American trade deals post-Brexit. The special relationship is crucial for British security and prosperity, and royal visits are one of Britain's most powerful diplomatic tools. Charles is trapped. Go to America and risk being used as a political prop by Trump. Cancel and risk damaging UK-US relations at a moment when Britain can't afford to alienate its most important ally. Meanwhile, William and Kate are planning their own America trip in July to celebrate the 250th anniversary of American independence. And in perhaps the most petty move yet, Harry and Meghan, who actually live in California, will be completely frozen out of official July 4th celebrations. This is about more than just a state visit. This is about the monarchy being weaponized for political purposes, about the limits of royal neutrality, and about whether Charles has the diplomatic skills to navigate the minefield that is Donald Trump's second presidency. Part 1. The Trump Invitation. Stroking a Certain Ego. The April 2026 Plan. According to multiple reports, King Charles and Queen Camilla have been invited to make a state visit to the United States in April 2026. The invitation reportedly comes directly from President Donald Trump, who was inaugurated for his second term in January 2025. This would be Charles's first state visit to America as king. It's being framed as an opportunity to strengthen the UK-US special relationship and demonstrate the enduring bonds between the two nations. The visit would likely include a state dinner at the White House meetings with President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump, possible addresses to Congress or other institutions, cultural events, and visits to American landmarks, opportunities to highlight British-American cooperation. On paper, this is exactly the kind of soft power diplomacy the monarchy excels at. Royal visits generate positive press, strengthen diplomatic ties, and remind the world of Britain's continued global relevance despite Brexit. But there's one massive problem: Donald Trump. Paul Burrell's warning. Paul Burrell, who worked for King Charles for years as a butler and royal aide, has been remarkably candid about what this visit would require. "We're dealing with a president who has a huge ego, so you're going to have to stroke that ego," Burrell told Showbiz Cheat Sheet. Think about what that means. A royal expert is openly saying that the British king will need to stroke the ego of the American president, not engage in equal diplomatic exchange, not represent British interests from a position of strength. Stroke his ego. Burrell continued, "Kate played a blinder when the president came to visit here because she charmed him, and he'll never forget that." He's referring to Trump's state visit to the UK in September 2025, when Kate, despite being in the midst of her cancer recovery, handled interactions with Trump beautifully. She was warm, charming, and managed to make Trump feel important without appearing obsequious. But that was on British soil, at a British event, under British protocol. Going to America, to Trump's White House, on Trump's terms, that's a very different dynamic. The ego-stroking strategy. Burrell's comments reveal the royal strategy: charm Trump, flatter him, make him feel special, and hope he responds with favourable policies toward Britain. Kate played a blinder. She charmed him, and he'll never forget that. This is transactional diplomacy at its most blatant. Use the royal celebrity and charm to manipulate an American president's ego in hopes of gaining trade concessions or political favours. It's also deeply cynical and somewhat humiliating. The British monarchy, an institution that once ruled the largest empire in history, reduced to ego-stroking a reality TV star turned politician. But this is the reality of post-Brexit Britain. The UK needs America more than America needs the UK. And if that means sending the king to flatter Trump's ego, well, That's the price of maintaining the special relationship. Why Trump wants this. From Trump's perspective, hosting King Charles is a massive ego boost and political win. Trump loves royalty. His 2019 state visit to the UK, where he met Queen Elizabeth II, was something he bragged about constantly. He was visibly thrilled to be treated as an equal by British royalty. Having King Charles visit the White House during his second term would validate Trump's presidency on the world stage, generate massive positive media coverage, at least in conservative outlets, allow Trump to showcase his diplomatic prowess, give him bragging rights about hosting royalty, provide optics of world leaders respecting and courting him. For Trump, this is pure political gold. For Charles, it's a diplomatic necessity wrapped in a political minefield. Part 2. Why pressure is building to cancel the political opposition. Not everyone in Britain thinks Charles should go through with this visit. In fact, opposition is building rapidly. Labour MPs and other opposition politicians have been calling for the visit to be cancelled or postponed, arguing that climate concerns, Trump withdrew the US from the Paris Climate Agreement. Charles has spent decades advocating for environmental protection. Meeting with Trump sends mixed messages about British commitment to climate action, human rights issues, Trump's policies on immigration, particularly family separation at the border, conflict with British values. Charles meeting with Trump could be seen as endorsing these policies. Democratic concerns. Trump's role in the January 6th Capitol attack and his attempts to overturn the 2020 election make him a controversial figure. Some argue Britain shouldn't honour him with a royal visit. Russian connection. Trump's complicated relationship with Vladimir Putin and Russia creates uncomfortable dynamics for a British royal visit at a time when the UK is strongly supporting Ukraine. The one thing royals hate. Royal experts have noted that this situation puts Charles in exactly the position the monarchy tries hardest to avoid, being drawn into politics. The British monarchy's power and longevity depend on political neutrality. The Queen famously never revealed her political opinions. Charles has historically been more outspoken on certain issues, environment, architecture, organic farming, but has always carefully avoided partisan politics. But how do you visit Donald Trump, one of the most politically divisive figures in modern history, without it being seen as a political statement? If Charles visits, it will be interpreted as endorsement of Trump and his policies. If Charles cancels, it will be seen as a political rebuke of Trump and alignment with his critics. There's no neutral option here, and one thing royals hate is being forced to take sides politically. The public opinion problem. British public opinion on Trump is overwhelmingly negative. Polls consistently show that Trump is one of the least popular foreign leaders among British voters. During Trump's previous UK visits, there were massive protests in London. The famous Trump baby balloon flew over Parliament. Hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets to demonstrate against him. If Charles goes to America to meet with Trump, he'll face criticism at home from a public that largely despises the American president. If he cancels, he'll be accused of letting public opinion override diplomatic necessity. The timing issue. April 2026 is not a random choice. It's timed to occur, early enough in Trump's second term to set a positive tone for UK-US relations, before any major controversies or policy disasters that might make the visit impossible. When Charles's health, he's still receiving cancer treatment, should be stable enough for international travel, before the July 4th celebrations, creating a two-pronged attack approach. But the timing also creates problems. By April, Trump will have been president for over a year. Any controversial policies he's implemented will be fresh in people's minds. Any scandals or investigations will be ongoing. The longer the delay before the visit, the more likely something happens that makes it politically untenable. Part 3. The two-pronged attack. William and Kate, in July, the July 4th. Plan. While Charles deals with the Trump visit crisis, William and Kate have their own America plans. A visit in July 2026 to mark the 250th anniversary of American independence. According to page 6, a source in the know claims William and Kate are set to head to the United States in July 2026, specifically to mark the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. This is significant for several reasons. Historical precedent. Queen Elizabeth II visited America in 1976 for the bicentennial 200th anniversary. William and Kate doing the same for the 250th anniversary follows this tradition. Younger appeal. William and Kate, both in their 40s with young children, appeal to younger Americans in ways that 77-year-old Charles doesn't. Lower risk. As future monarchs rather than current ones, William and Kate have slightly more flexibility in how they're perceived. Mistakes or controversies are less immediately damaging. Fresh start. If Charles's April visit goes poorly, William and Kate can finish off the business, as Paul Burrell put it, by resetting the relationship. The strategic coordination. Burrell revealed that this two-visit strategy is deliberately coordinated. I think that the King is going to rely more and more on William and Kate because he knows that they are the future. He knows they are the most important and most powerful armour in his arsenal, and he's going to rely on them to pincer his visit to America. A pincer movement is a military tactic where you attack from two sides simultaneously. The metaphor is revealing. Charles sees the America challenge as something requiring strategic military-style planning. Charles goes first in April to establish diplomatic groundwork. William and Kate follow in July to capitalise on that groundwork and finish off the business. If Charles's visit is controversial or difficult, William and Kate can smooth things over. If Charles's visit is successful, William and Kate can build on that success. It's important for Britain, Burrell emphasised the stakes. It's important for Britain, it's important for America that the royal family can prove their worth. They are specially placed to please an American president. This quote reveals the transactional nature of modern royal diplomacy. The royal family needs to prove their worth by pleasing the American president. Gone is any pretense of equal partnership or British dignity. This is about using royal celebrity and charm to extract favourable treatment from a more powerful nation. Specially placed to please an American president. Think about that phrasing. The British royals are specially placed to please. They're being positioned as entertainers, as ego-strokers, as diplomatic tools. For a family that once ruled an empire, this represents a remarkable fall in status. Part 4. Harry and Meghan, iced out of July 4th, the ultimate snub. Here's where this story gets truly petty. According to page 6, Harry and Meghan are set to be iced out of any official July 4th celebrations. Think about the irony of this. Harry and Meghan live in California. They've lived in Montecito, about 90 miles north of Los Angeles, since 2020. America is their adopted home. And yet, when the British royal family comes to America for official July 4th celebrations, Harry and Meghan will be explicitly excluded from all official events. Obviously, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex aren't working royals, so they will not be invited to any celebrations, a source told page 6. Any invitation would have to come at the behest of the royal family themselves. Translation: don't hold your breath. The humiliation factor. Imagine being Harry and Meghan. You've fled to America to escape the British royal family. You've built a new life there. You've positioned yourselves as the American branch of the royals. And then William, Kate, and potentially even King Charles come to your adopted country, attend official events at the White House and British Embassy, celebrate July 4th as honoured guests of the nation, and you're not invited. You're in California, while official royal events happen in California without you. It's the ultimate demonstration that you're no longer part of the institution. You're not just excluded from events in Britain, you're excluded from royal events everywhere, even in your own backyard. The political calculation. From the royal family's perspective, this exclusion makes cold strategic sense. Avoiding drama, having Harry and Meghan at official events creates media distraction. All coverage would focus on Harry-William dynamics rather than UK-US relations. Maintaining boundaries. The family has drawn clear lines, working royals only. Including Harry and Meghan would blur those lines. Punishing defection. There have to be consequences for leaving royal life and publicly criticising the family. Complete exclusion is that consequence. Protocol. Simplicity. Having non-working royals at official diplomatic events creates protocol complications. Who do they sit with? What's their status? Easier to just exclude them. But there's also pettiness here. The royal family is going to Harry's adopted city and deliberately excluding him. That's not just protocol, that's sending a message. Part 5. The diplomatic tightrope. Can Charles navigate Trump? The challenge of political neutrality. The fundamental problem Charles faces is maintaining political neutrality while engaging with an intensely political figure. Trump doesn't do neutral. Everything is transactional, everything is about loyalty, everything is political. He demands that people be for him or against him, with no middle ground. How does a British king maintain constitutional neutrality while meeting with someone who demands public declarations of loyalty and support? The climate conflict. This is particularly acute on climate change, an issue Charles has championed for decades. Charles has given speeches warning about climate catastrophe, converted his cars to run on biofuel, installed solar panels at royal residences, made environmental sustainability a core part of his public identity. Trump has called climate change a hoax, withdrawn the US from the Paris Climate Agreement, rolled back environmental regulations, promoted fossil fuel production. How does Charles meet with Trump without either appearing to endorse Trump's climate denial, betraying Charles's life's work, lecturing Trump about climate, violating diplomatic protocol and political neutrality? There's no good answer. Whatever Charles does will be criticised by someone. The Kate example. The palace's hope is that Charles can do what Kate did during Trump's UK visit, charm him without appearing to endorse him politically. Kate's strategy during the September 2025 Trump visit was brilliant. She was warm and friendly without being obsequious. She asked questions and appeared interested without agreeing with Trump's politics. She used fashion diplomacy, wearing appropriate colours and styles. She made Trump feel special without actually saying anything substantive about his policies. Can Charles replicate this? It's harder for several reasons. Charles is king. Kate could be friendly without it meaning as much. Charles's every gesture carries more weight. Charles has opinions. Unlike Kate, who's never expressed political views publicly, Charles has decades of public statements on climate, architecture, and other issues. Charles is older. At 77, Charles doesn't have Kate's youthful energy or ability to charm through sheer warmth. Different dynamic. Trump's interaction with an attractive younger woman, Kate, is different from his interaction with an older male monarch, Charles. What could go wrong? Multiple scenarios could make this visit disastrous. Trump uses Charles as political prop. Imagine Trump standing next to Charles at a press conference, claiming the British king supports his policies. Charles makes a gaffe. One wrong word about climate change, immigration, or any political topic could create an international incident. Protests overshadow visit. Massive demonstrations could make the visit look like a disaster. Trump says something offensive. Trump could make inappropriate comments about the Queen's death, Princess Diana, or other sensitive topics. Policy timing. If Trump implements particularly controversial policies right before the visit, Charles would face pressure to cancel. Part 6. The Brexit factor. Why Britain can't afford to alienate America. Post-Brexit desperation. To understand why Britain is willing to subject King Charles to the humiliation of ego-stroking Trump, you need to understand Britain's post-Brexit situation. Since leaving the European Union, Britain has been desperate to secure trade deals with major economies. The United States is the most important potential partner. A US-UK trade deal could boost British GDP, create jobs, demonstrate Brexit was worth it politically, provide economic security outside the EU. But Trump's approach to trade is transactional and unpredictable. He demands concessions, makes threats, and values personal relationships over institutional ones. If Trump likes Charles, if the visit goes well, it could smooth the path toward a favourable trade deal. If Trump feels disrespected or snubbed, he could punish Britain economically. The special relationship myth. Britain constantly invokes the special relationship with America, but the reality is increasingly one-sided. America is the world's largest economy, Britain's most important security partner, crucial for intelligence sharing, essential for British global influence. Britain is a mid-sized economy, a useful but not essential ally for America, increasingly irrelevant in American strategic thinking. The special relationship depends on Britain providing something America values. Royal visits are one of the few things Britain can offer that America doesn't have itself. The China and Russia factor. Britain also needs American support regarding China and Russia. On Ukraine, Britain has been a strong supporter of Ukraine against Russian aggression. American backing is essential for continued support. On China, Britain needs American coordination on China policy, particularly regarding technology, trade, and security. Alienating Trump by cancelling the royal visit could have repercussions far beyond hurt feelings. It could affect American willingness to support British interests on crucial global issues. Conclusion: an impossible choice with no good answer. The dilemma defined, King Charles faces a decision that epitomizes the challenges of modern monarchy. Option A, go to America, maintains special relationship, shows Britain values US partnership, risks being used as political prop, undermines Charles's climate advocacy, subjects monarchy to Trump's unpredictability. Option B, cancel the visit, maintains Charles's environmental principles, avoids being drawn into Trump politics, damages UK-US relations, undermines Brexit trade negotiations, makes Britain look weak and unreliable. There is no option C where everyone's happy. What will probably happen, based on historical precedent and current signals? Charles will almost certainly go through with the visit because duty over preference. The monarchy prioritises national interest over personal preference. Brexit pressure. Britain can't afford to alienate America right now. William and Kate back up. If April goes badly, July provides a reset opportunity. Charles's character. He understands his role requires personal sacrifice, but it will be painful to watch. The optics of the British King deferring to President Trump will be uncomfortable for anyone who values British dignity. The William and Kate insurance policy. The two-pronged strategy provides some safety. If Charles's April visit is controversial, William and Kate can repair the damage in July. If it's successful, they can build on it. Either way, Britain gets two chances to make a good impression. But this also reveals how desperate Britain is. Sending the King and the future King to America within 3 months shows just how much Britain needs this relationship to work. Harry and Meghan's exclusion. The pettiest aspect of this whole situation is Harry and Meghan being frozen out of July 4th events in their own adopted country. It serves no diplomatic purpose. They could attend without complicating anything. But the family wants to send a message. You chose to leave, so you're excluded from everything, everywhere, always. It's cruel, it's petty, and it reveals just how vindictive the institution can be toward those who defect. Final thoughts. Will King Charles cancel his Trump visit? Almost certainly not. The diplomatic and economic stakes are too high. Britain needs America too badly. And Charles understands that being king sometimes means doing things that make you uncomfortable. But should he cancel? That's a different question entirely. There are legitimate arguments that the monarchy shouldn't be dragged into Trump's political circus, that Charles's environmental principles matter more than diplomatic niceties, that some things are worth standing up for, even if it damages the special relationship. Charles will go to America. He'll stroke Trump's ego, as Paul Burrell crudely but accurately put it. He'll smile, he'll charm, he'll make Trump feel important. William and Kate will follow in July to finish the job. And Britain will hope that degrading its monarchy for diplomatic purposes is worth whatever trade concessions or political favours might result. It's a sad commentary on how far Britain has fallen that this is considered necessary. But this is the reality of post-Brexit, post-Empire Britain, desperate for American approval and willing to sacrifice royal dignity to get it. What do you think? Should King Charles go through with the Trump visit or cancel on principle? Is stroking Trump's ego a reasonable price for diplomatic success? Should Harry and Meghan be included in July 4th events? Is Britain degrading the monarchy by using it this way? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this analysis valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. This story will develop significantly over the coming months. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.